Ever wonder how some folks manage to stay lean without spending every waking moment at the gym? The secret might be simpler than you think. Intermittent fasting. Hello and welcome, dear friends. Today we're going to delve into a fascinating world where you don't necessarily have to count every single calorie that passes your lips. Yes, you heard that right. This world is called intermittent fasting. Now, before you start imagining days on end without food, let me clarify. Intermittent fasting isn't about starving yourself. No. It's a pattern of eating, a lifestyle choice, if you will. In its simplest form, it involves cycling between periods of eating and fasting. You have your eating window, during which you consume your meals, and then you have your fasting window, where you give your body a break from eating. This isn't about deprivation, but about giving your body the time it needs to process what you've eaten and to tap into those fat stores we all have tucked away. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds like a diet to me, but it's not a diet in the conventional sense. You're not cutting out food groups or drastically reducing your calorie intake. It's more about when you eat rather than what you eat. Remember how Grandma used to say, timing is everything? Well, she was onto something. This is the art of timing your meals to work with your body's natural rhythms. You're simply adjusting your eating schedule to align better with your body's needs. Sounds intriguing, doesn't it? Well, we're just getting started. And remember, as the Bible says, there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. Ecclesiastes 3:1. Perhaps it's time to consider if there's a season for eating and a season for fasting. So, are you ready to explore this exciting approach to health and wellness? Let's embark on an enlightening journey into the world of intermittent fasting. Now, before you dismiss intermittent fasting as some newfangled trend, let's take a trip back in time, all the way back to biblical times. In those days, folks didn't have the luxury of snack-filled pantries or 24-hour drive-thrus. But even then, they understood the importance of a fast. Let's take a look at the Bible itself. In the book of Matthew chapter 4 verse 2, it is written, "After fasting 40 days and 40 nights, he was hungry." Now that was Jesus, demonstrating the spiritual practice of fasting. He wasn't trying to fit into his robes or anything. Rather, he was seeking clarity, connection, and spiritual nourishment. Fasting, you see, was a way to manifest prayer and reflection. It was a physical expression of spiritual commitment. It was not about denying the body, but about feeding the soul. Now, I'm not suggesting we all go out and fast for 40 days and 40 nights. That's a bit extreme, even for the most devoted among us. But I am saying that this practice, this discipline of intermittent fasting, has roots that go deeper than modern health trends. It's been around for centuries, y'all. And it wasn't just in the Bible either. Many ancient cultures and religions around the world practice fasting as part of their spiritual rituals and health routines. So, when we talk about intermittent fasting, we're not just discussing a modern weight loss strategy. We're talking about a practice steeped in history, in spiritual depth, and in the wisdom of our ancestors. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? Maybe our ancestors were onto something. Maybe this isn't just about fitting into those skinny jeans or hitting that weight loss goal. Maybe it's about something more. Fasting isn't a new concept, it's been around for centuries. Maybe our ancestors were onto something. So you're probably wondering, how does not eating help me lose weight? Well, it's science time. When we eat, our body's little workers, known as enzymes, get busy breaking down the food into usable energy, primarily in the form of glucose. This glucose is like the gasoline in your car, keeping your engine running smoothly. But what happens when the tank runs dry? Do we just roll to a stop? Certainly not. Our bodies are much smarter than that. When the glucose is all used up, our bodies switch to a different fuel source, stored fat. This is where the magic happens in intermittent fasting. By extending the time between meals, we're coaxing our bodies to tap into those fat reserves, turning them into energy. Now, this isn't a sudden switch. Our bodies are more like a hybrid car, able to switch between fuel sources. When we're in a fed state, glucose is the primary fuel. But as we enter the fasted state, our bodies gradually shift to burning more and more fat for fuel. This is why intermittent fasting can be such a powerful tool for weight loss. It's like having a secret switch to turn on your body's fat-burning mode. But that's not all. Intermittent fasting also triggers a process called autophagy. This is our body's way of cleaning house, getting rid of old, damaged cells and making room for new, healthy ones. This process can help improve our overall health and even slow the aging process. So while it may seem counterintuitive, not eating for certain periods can actually help our bodies function better, burn fat more effectively, and even help us live longer, healthier lives. It's like finding a hidden cheat code for your body. So, by simply changing when we eat, we could be helping our bodies to burn more fat. That's interesting food for thought. Now, I won't ask you to take my word for it. Let me share a little story about my own journey with intermittent fasting. So, there I was, a southern gal with a love for fried chicken and sweet tea that was showing fairly prominently around my waist. I'd tried everything, from the grapefruit diet to low-fat foods and Weight Watchers classes, but nothing seemed to stick. Then one day, I stumbled upon intermittent fasting. I remember thinking, skipping meals? I don't think so. But I was desperate and willing to try anything. The first few days were tough, I won't lie. My stomach was growling louder than a bear in hibernation. But I held on, imagining myself in a sundress, sipping on my sweet tea without the added sugar around my waist. As days turned into weeks, something magical happened. I started to feel lighter, not just physically but mentally too. I had more energy, my mind was sharper, and I was sleeping like a baby for the first time in years. The scale was my next pleasant surprise. I'd lost 10 pounds in the first month, 20 by the second. But the real victory was in the mirror. I was looking at a new me, a me that felt good in her skin and was radiating confidence from every pore. The benefits didn't stop there. My blood pressure, which had always been on the higher side, started to normalize. My joints didn't ache as much, and even my skin seemed to have a new glow. But the greatest gift of all was a newfound sense of control. I was no longer a slave to my cravings. I had taken charge of my health, and it felt empowering. And that, my friends, is how intermittent fasting changed my life. It wasn't just about the weight loss, though that was a big part of it. It was about finding a lifestyle that was sustainable and made me feel good about myself. It was about taking back control and discovering that I was stronger than I ever knew. So here's to uncovering our inner strengths and making choices that serve us well. Convinced yet? Ready to give intermittent fasting a try? Well, here's how you can get started. Starting your intermittent fasting journey doesn't have to be daunting. It's like learning how to ride a bike. A little bit wobbly at first, but once you get the hang of it, you'll be off pedaling into the sunset. First, choose your fasting pattern. There are a few popular ones out there. The 16-8 method involves fasting for 16 hours and eating within an 8-hour window. If you're a night owl, you might find the eat-stop-eat method more appealing, where you fast for a full 24 hours once or twice a week. Then there's the 5-2 method, where you eat normally for 5 days and restrict your calories to 500 to 600 for 2 days. Remember, there's no one-size-fits-all here. It's like choosing a hat. You've got to find the one that fits you best. Now for some tips for success. Be prepared for some hunger pangs in the beginning. It's your body's way of saying, hey, what's going on here? But don't worry, it's like a grumpy cat. It'll get used to the new routine soon enough. Also, stay hydrated. Drink plenty of water, it's like the oil to your engine. And let's not forget about potential side effects. You might feel a bit tired or lightheaded initially. It's your body adjusting to the new fuel schedule. But if you feel unwell, it's important to listen to your body. It's smarter than any smartphone out there. One last thing, remember the story of Daniel from the Bible? He fasted for 3 weeks, but he didn't starve himself. He nourished his body with vegetables and water. So remember, it's not about starving yourself. It's about giving your body the break it needs to perform at its best. Like a wise man once said, every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. So let this be the end of your old eating habits and the beginning of your intermittent fasting journey. Remember, it's not about starving yourself. It's about giving your body the break it needs to perform at its best. So, there you have it, folks. Intermittent fasting, the not-so-secret secret to weight loss. We've journeyed through time, from the biblical era to the present day, uncovering the age-old practice of intermittent fasting. We've seen how it's more than just a weight loss fad, but rather a lifestyle that offers a myriad of health benefits. Remember how we discussed the science behind this magic? It's not about starvation, but about giving your body a much-needed break, allowing it to repair and rejuvenate itself. It's about tapping into our body's natural potential to burn fat for fuel and to enhance our overall well-being. We also delved into my personal journey with intermittent fasting. It's been a wild ride with plenty of ups and downs, but let me tell you, the view from the top has been worth every single step. And of course, we've shared some handy tips on how you can embark on your own intermittent fasting journey. Remember, it's not about being perfect, but about making small, sustainable changes that add up over time. It's about listening to your body and finding what works best for you. I'm not saying it's easy. There will be days when you'll want to throw in the towel. But as the Bible says, let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Galatians 6:9. So, keep at it. And remember, every journey begins with a single step. And who knows, intermittent fasting might just be the step you need to take towards a healthier, happier you. If you found this video helpful, remember to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your feedback is the fuel that keeps this channel going. We're all in this journey together, so let's continue to inspire and uplift each other. Until next time, peace to you.